On DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs and incredible people behind the DC region's music scene. And so now let's get to know this incredible guy right here. So my guest today, Billy Winn, is a Billboard charting singer, songwriter, recording artist, and performer, which captivates on stage and brings energetic dance shows to the stage. Since 2013, Billy has released a number of acclaimed singles, including the song Future Ex-Boyfriend, which reached the top 20 on the Billboard dance chart. His music ranges from high-energy dance records to slick and sexy urban pop and emotionally charged EDM. And he describes himself as a pop artist making electro-pop music with a sexy, and if you've seen the photos, it's a very sexy urban edge to this guy. So, I came across Billy when, actually, it was last year. We both played the Taste of DC, I believe. That's where I saw your name in there, and I was going through checking out all the artists, and we were both on stage at different stages or whatever, and I saw you on there, and it was like, wow, this Billy Winn guy is awesome. And so I reached out to him, and got back to me, and now it is such a treat to actually have you here to do this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here.
It is my pleasure.
Dude.
Trust me.
Yeah, this is awesome. So anyway, let's get to know you here. So now you talked a little bit earlier, but share it again. So you got started in school. How did music come into your life?
It kind of happened sort of by accident. I was a theater kid. I started performing when I was around 6 years old, and at the time, I was more interested in just being a performer, acting and dancing. And singing kind of was a prerequisite for that. Yeah. It wasn't until I was probably 10 where I started to take music seriously, and I wanted to be a recording artist, and it was from my love of music videos.
Not music videos. So we're talking like MTV music videos?
Like MTV
back in the
music
day?
videos, like TRL. And stuff like that, and it made me want to. I was like, I can do this, and
and it turns out you can. Look at you
I
go.
was already like on the trajectory. I just didn't realize it, but once I made the decision to focus more so on music, I just incorporated everything else, the acting and the dancing and all that good stuff.
Got it. And now there's a lot. I mean, you talked about high energy dance shows and stuff. When people see you live, describe what a live Billy Winn show is like. Is there dancers? Is it dancing? Is it singing?
When I think about performing, for me, I want to give a full show like you would see at a circus. Like Cirque du Soleil, something like that.
Sure.
So it's always like performance art to a certain degree. It's going to be dancing, flipping. If you make it to the Capitol Pride show, there's going to be some smoke machines and some confetti and a lot of fun stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a good show.
So it's a heck of a show. Now, and what about you? So there's this I want to, before I jump to that, also want to touch on, so singer and songwriter, talk about your music, because sometimes in the world of pop music and the music today, sometimes you just sing or you songwrite or a little bit of both, or so how does music come together for you when we hear your stuff on the radio?
Singing, it's just a natural gift, just like every other facet of performing that I have, dancing and acting. I can sing, and I just focused on singing to become better at it and to make it the focal point, because I really, really love music. But like I said, I was like 10 when I decided I wanted to be a recording artist, and so I sort of have a weird process when I think, and I was like, okay, well, what does a singer need? A singer needs songs. I didn't know any songwriters at the time, so I decided that, okay, well, I can write my own songs. And so, like, immediately following deciding I wanted to be a recording artist, I started writing my own songs.
Got it. And so now do you use a keyboard, or is it you and a guitar, or you sit?
There's so many different ways at this point. When the one thing that I never really did starting out was play instruments.
Got it. Okay.
And so I would always write a cappella, but what I didn't realize I was doing was actually still writing chords and writing melodies and things like that. Nowadays I use a keyboard, and I really want to start using the guitar more. I don't know why I'm afraid to, but there's something about that intimidates me, but I really want to start using the guitar more.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
That would be a wild addition to your set when all of a sudden you pull out a guitar and sit down.
I really would like to do that.
That's
I want
wild.
that shock.
Well, you told us all here, so we hope that I hope I get to see that.
I said it live on the air.
I want a YouTube video. You said it live on the air, and once you say it, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Now, what about on the personal side? Then outside of the music thing, what are you a Netflix guy? What do you do in your free time? What's life like for you?
I am probably the most boring person you could ever meet outside of
Oh,
music.
stop it.
Because all I do, like, if I'm not, okay, I travel a lot, and, like, I have a really extensive social life, and that part of me is fun. But if, like, I'm home, like, before I got here,
Yeah.
I was watching cartoons, like, on Hulu, like, all day.
Nice.
Yeah, like, that's what I do. Like,
Okay.
me and, like, my dogs, we just chill out and, like, we
Yes.
watch TV.
And what kind of dogs?
I have a pug.
Uh-huh.
He's all black.
Got it.
And I have a Maltese Shih Tzu mix. He kind of looks like Cruella DeVille.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Those two together. All right. So got some dogs, do some marathon TV watching.
Mostly cartoons. Like, I'm a
Nice.
comic book geek, so I watch, like, Justice League and
Oh yeah.
X-Men and all that stuff, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, they're on, if you didn't know, they're on Hulu and Netflix. So, like, I binge all the time.
Nice. Okay. So we got that. Now, talk about so and this is a fun question that I love to ask, but talk about your tell me a story about a time you tried and failed.
Ooh, it's a good one. So one of the reasons why I'm so happy to do this interview is to talk about a situation that sort of happened not too long ago. A lot of people ask me, I get a lot of fan questions about where my album is, if I've ever done an album. And the answer to that question is I did actually record an album. Back in 2013, I recorded an album. At the time, I was signed to an indie label that was signed to Universal.
Oh, okay.
And my producer and I at the time, Rainer Hodnett of 180 Music, we sat down and we did like 25 tracks. And we were spending
25.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
like 18-hour days in the studio mixing and mastering and recording. And I actually did an album. It ended up being like 13 tracks.
Okay.
And at the time that the album was being finished, the indie label lost their funding and everything just sort of fell apart. And so I did an album. And since that time, parts of it have sort of been, it's been picked apart for various reasons, other record deals and singles that I've put out. And so the biggest failure for me was not getting to present that collection of music the way that it was supposed to be presented. And so I think I've been sort of on a journey to sort of reconcile that ever since.
Wow. That must have been so frustrating, man. And like what a
Frustrating is the best way to put it. It was devastating to a degree, but it was more frustrating than anything because I felt like I was on to something that was really special, and I didn't get to share with the world the way that I had intended to.
Got it.
Yeah.
And it just occurred to me earlier, you talked about when the name came together or something. I meant to ask you, so Billy Wynn is your real name or that is the stage name?
Technically, I mean, it's sort of my real name, but it's a stage name. Like I can't sign checks as Billy Wynn.
Got it. Did you hear it? You heard it here first. He can't sign checks as Billy Wynn. There you go.
I can't. If they come looking for me, they're not going to look for Billy Wynn.
Where did the artist name came from then?
So I wanted a name that sounded like old Hollywood, but I also didn't want a name that was so unfamiliar that like I felt like people were calling to someone else.
Yeah.
So my first real name is William.
Okay.
You get that much, just the first name.
Okay. Yeah, we're with you.
And so, but my whole life, everybody just called me Billy.
Okay.
Even when I went to elementary school, I freaked out on a teacher because she started calling me William, and I had no idea who she was talking to.
Wow.
And
okay.
nobody had ever explained to me that that's Billy is a nickname. And so Wynn is my mother's maiden name.
Got it.
And so I said, Billy Wynn sounds like old Hollywood, James Dean, Marilyn Monroe, Billy Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And now when you hear when I hear your name, sometimes that good rap song, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Like that, I feel like all of a sudden that's like an anthem or something. Is that?
No, I never
I'm teasing,
I never thought about it that way. But see, now the next time I hear that song,
I changed it for you forever.
Yeah.
I'm honored to have done that for you, sir. Because you changed it for me forever. Because it's like, yeah,
I appreciate
he's
that.
got it. It's
Yeah.
like his life story in a song. I love it. That's cool. All right, now what's something in your music collection that might surprise us?
I listen to like everything.
Okay.
I know a lot of people probably hear my songs and they sort of, and it happens. They get their impression of a person
Sure.
from their music. But me, like I listen to everything. My musical taste is very broad. So I think if I were to just choose something, the thing that probably would surprise most people is that I listen to a lot of opera.
Really?
Yeah, like I have a
Okay.
favorite opera,
Which is?
The Magic Flute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you listening out there, check out the Magic Flute. And next time you see Billy, have him sing something for you. You gonna sing a little bit?
Well, I don't know about that, but
Oh, okay.
I'll play you my favorite aria, but I don't think I'm gonna.
All right.
I don't think I'm that good.
And I got one more question for you. It's
Yeah.
my favorite one to ask every episode, and that's if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
Stay true to your artistry, whatever that is. I think that, especially being an indie artist and meeting a lot of artists in the DC metro area, the one thing that I can say for sure is that everyone that I've met here, they're very true to what it is that they do as artists. It isn't necessarily about trying to fit into a particular market, which I think is one of the beauties of the DC music scene. It can sort of be a double-edged sword, depending on where you come from in terms of music and your goals. But I think that staying true to yourself as an artist and what it is that you want to do and present to the world is the most important thing.
I like that, and that's challenging in today's day and age, man. People tell you all kinds of things that contradict it. So yeah, be true.
Trust me,
so true.
I've still
I
hear
love it.
like some of strange things as to why people won't play records or book
man.
shows,
Yep,
and
yep.
I'm always like, what are you talking about? But it happens.
Yep. All right, stay true. I dig it. And now, if folks want to find out more about you or follow you, where do they go?
I'm all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud. If you search Billy Wynn Music, it's BILLYWINN
Okay.
Music. That would be my Facebook and my Instagram.
Got it.
Twitter is just Billy Wynn, @BillyWynn on Twitter.
Got it.
And you can search Billy Wynn Music pretty much on YouTube and SoundCloud and find my stuff.